to the room, be coachable, teachable, trainable, and post your city and state where you are watching this information from so that I can see where this value is being delivered out in these internet streets. In week 2, where we are discussing building trust before you sell, today we are discussing that trust builds followers. Consistency creates customers. So right now, during this time frame, we are actually in the second quarter of the year, in the second week, and what we are focusing on is connections. And the way that you create these connections is that you build trust. Your audience will follow you for what you say, but they'll buy based on how consistently you show up. Here today, gone tomorrow is not going to get you conversions, okay? So if you're wondering why people follow you but don't buy, this could be the missing link. Trust gets their attention, but consistency earns their commitment. So in today's session, I'm actually breaking down the real difference between showing up randomly versus showing up strategically and how that shift builds confidence, credibility, and customers. So if you're ready to move beyond likes, okay, into loyalty, then this is an episode that is specifically for you. Some of the key points that we're going to cover today is that trust does earn followers. That's great. However, consistency will earn the sale. So showing up one time won't build the confidence with your audience. If you're showing up haphazardly, that will not build confidence in your audience. Consistency tells your audience, hey, guess what? You can rely on me. I'm going to be here. We are currently here in the BrandYOU agency going through massive loss after loss, right? And what we are endeavoring to continue to do, even through the transparency of the loss, even through the transparency of how many of our CTT squad members are currently under attack, we are still showing up. We're still here. Even if we have to pre-record some of our sessions, we are currently entering a time where the lifestyle trainees are currently ending their senior year. Their last day of actual classes may have been December, right, when they completed their graduate studies. However, they are now teetering between part and full-time jobs. They have a schedule. They're not driving yet. They're learning how to drive. They have a schedule. They have jobs. We're still in and out of the office, but because the BrandYOU agency, myself, Brandmaster Martina, Britt, Yelverton, committed to being here with you guys every single Tuesday through Friday to give you this value, I'm letting you know you can rely on this information showing up so that even if you have to catch it on your lunch and learn, even if you have to catch it on your late night hour when you catch the replay, my strategic repetition of putting this information and value into your hands here specifically on YouTube will build your belief, will build your memory, making me memorable so that ultimately you will refer because you can trust that we will be here to deliver the value. And we will be here to deliver the service. This Dollar Deals membership, this BrandYOU membership that we have, gives you a repeatable structure so that you can stay consistent and in your consistency without burnout. That's why we're teaching you the different things that we're teaching you so you can see how this thing is done, okay? So that you don't have to worry about how when tragedy hits me, am I going to be able to bounce back? Am I going to be able to still deliver on my value? Yes, and we show you how. So this particular week, today is our final day of showing you how to build trust before you sell in this week. I want to bring it all together with this one truth. Hear me and hear me well. Trust builds followers. But consistency is going to create your customers. Okay. So if you've got people watching, but no one is buying, then this is your missing link. And I want to show you guys how you can fix it. So grab your handy dandy pens and your handy dandy notebook paper so that you can take down these consistent notes. And again, we have a follow through Friday option for you to come in and do some work over the weekend. And we have it wrapped up inside of a trust building checklist. But that is only available to those who are inside of our brand new community. So if I were you, I would go ahead and go over to learnleadandlevelup.com and go ahead and register for your free account so that you can get last week's brand inventory activation checklist, as well as this week's trust building checklist. And subsequently, we also have a visibility action plan and a messaging alignment audit. These are the 4 different follow through Friday action plans, checklists, cheat sheets that actually are going to walk you through a process for this month where we are discussing the trust building process that is really, 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 really important in regards to branding. So again, this month of April, we're discussing that you need to start where you are. You need to build trust. You need to show up and you need to let your brand speak. And the way you do that is that you build trust before you sell. So point number 1, trust is the door. Consistency is the key. Someone might follow you because of one video or one post or one short or one reel. They may follow you, and that's great, but they'll only buy when they trust you to keep showing up. It's not a one and done. Your consistency builds belief in you and confidence in your offer. Once they have the feeling that they are aware of you and what it is that you are here to serve with, and you consistently show up, they begin to feel connected to you to build a belief in you. Then that confidence is what will allow them to buy from you. All right. Point number 2, what consistency looks like. And trust me, it's not just the daily posting. You have to set a visibility rhythm. I know that sounds crazy. A visibility rhythm. Like we're here Tuesday through Friday, right? Each Tuesday through Friday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Most days of the week, we hold an after office hours up until 2 p.m., giving you an opportunity to come in right after your lunch break and ask your burning business or brand question. We started the year out offering you a Watch Me Work Wednesday so you could watch me work through the processes of training ChatGPT. I call her Susan. We also gave you the opportunity to watch what it's like to correctly organize your domains and your subdomains. We also gave you the opportunity to watch me site shift some of my companies that were over on a Wix platform into a Go High Level platform. You got to watch me work through certain projects on clients so that you could see some of the branding that happens behind the scenes. Right? These are some of the visibility rhythm attributes of the BrandYOU agency. You guys see me post daily on shorts, reels, stories, right? You see me on TikTok, you see me on IG, you see me on YouTube, you see me on Facebook, I'm on Pinterest, I'm on, I got off of Twitter. You know, I'm not trying to support that realm, but you see me posting the reels and the shorts in multiple different places to build the awareness every single day. Most times I'm emailing my customers or clients or even some of my prospects that are on my list, maybe once or twice a month, right? But you also now see we're offering Follow Through Fridays where we're giving anyone inside of the BrandYOU community free access to downloadable checklist and cheat sheets so they can actually do the work that we've discussed all week. This is a visibility rhythm. You want to say the same message, but in different ways. A story, a tip, a quote, a live, a reel, right? And once you record that content live as a video, you can repurpose that same content in multiple different areas. You can use your brand inventory worksheet from week 1 to keep showing up consistently in multiple places by repurposing your value. Okay, I hope that makes sense. That was point 1 and 2. So let's move into point 3. Repetition builds recognition. The more often they see you, the faster they remember you. Think about that. Familiarity will equal trust. Trust will eventually equal sales. So you don't just need to be consistent in frequency, but you need to be consistent in your messaging. Okay? We've been talking branding for years. We've been talking branding to 2 MLM companies consistently for over a decade, right? And the information that we were delivering was not received until we removed access to the information. Now, all of a sudden, that MLM company has branding all over the place. I'm good with that because I did my part. I came, I delivered the value, I educated and I trained. And even though it wasn't received, now that we've removed our access, it is being received and it's being utilized. I did my part, right? So you have to think about that. You have to be consistent in your messaging, whether they receive it or not, right? That is how strongly I believe in the messaging behind the BrandYOU agency, the brand master, and everything that myself, Martina Britt Yelverton, has been talking about since 2001, as a hobby in 2003, as a sort of business in 2008, and then for, like I said yesterday, 3 years we struggled, 7 years we continued to struggle, but we at least struggled with a plan, right? And in 2018, we said, you know what? Now we are actually a formalized business. And as you see here in 2025, we're still doing the same dang on thing, right? When you are consistent, your message will land. When you have a belief system, the message will bleed through. All right. So in point number 4, the BrandYOU method makes consistency simple. I talk about this because you do not need to overwhelm yourself thinking that you need 20 new ideas every week. If you guys go back and watch the first 90 days of all of this content, the delivery of everything that we talked about in the original January series had to do with branding basics and audience engagement, the branding foundations. You guys still see us talking about this today. When we moved into February, we talked about building and scaling brands and how social media played a part and what branding maintenance looks like, the tools and the systems that you need to have in place. In March, we talked about when you get to this a level in your business where it's time to master the growth, you want to talk about content mastery and what the future planning will look like. So what we turned around and did in April was we said, okay, now that we've given you all of that, let's start with where you are, right? Let's show you that you need to build trust, that you need to consistently show up, and you need to let your brand speak. When you do these things, then you have now really firmly built the awareness, right? And beyond just being aware, you want to continue to connect with people. Why is this important? Because you always hear me say people don't buy from just businesses or companies. They buy from people they know, like, and trust. When you really get that, you will be well on your way. So what I'm looking for right here is making sure that I have the second tier here to let you guys see, at least give you a sneak peek of what will be coming up in the month of May. And that is what we will be talking when we will be talking about building with what you know, what your experience is, your positioning in that authority and what it means, and how in June you will be able to brand all the way to the bank. You will be able to create your value through your offers. You will be able to actually utilize and learn the systems that will allow you to have even greater visibility. Okay. So guys, I'm not saying all of this with a grain of salt. I'm saying that you need one message. You can have multiple angles, but you need a weekly rhythm. And that's why the BrandYOU membership, the BrandYOU Dollar Deals membership, gives you your plan every single week. We work through that so that you will be able to move through a plan. You will have less confusion, less chaos, less overwhelm because you create a plan. You don't need 20 million ideas. You just need one simplified plan behind one messaging, and you need a weekly rhythm. So let's get into some of the objections that you may have before we close. And the first one that everyone seems to have is that you're saying, I don't have time to post. Guess what? You don't need to. You just need a schedule that you can stick to consistently. So I just had a conversation with my bestie, Kenya, in Maryland, and what she said is, and I've heard this from so many different people, everybody's asking, how in the world are you always on social media? I'm like, I'm not, but I'm glad you think that I am. Like, I miss so much commentary and I miss so much of what is going on in the world because I'm not actually on social media. I know how to utilize my tools and my training and how to repurpose my content so it appears that I'm always on social media. Why do I want to always be on social media? Because I need for you guys to always be aware of what it is that I'm doing so that you can connect with me, so that you will see me and that you will know me and that you will like the information that I'm giving, so that you will trust the information that I'm giving, so you'll do it. Okay. But again, you don't need to. You just need a consistent schedule. You need to know how to put your content out in multiple different ways, how to repurpose the content so that people can see it and value it. Okay. Now, you're probably thinking, I get bored repeating the same thing. Let me help you have a wake up call. The repetition isn't for you, it's for the people watching you for the first time. Everybody didn't see your post. Everybody didn't see your reel. Everybody didn't see your video. Case in point, we had a video that just went crazy on YouTube. It's a short and it had over 700 views and it hasn't even been 24 hours. Guess what? That's only 700 out of billions of people. Everybody didn't see your first post. Okay. So when you're being repetitious, when you're actually repeating things, when you're being redundant, it's not for you. It's for the people who are seeing it for the first time. When you want to switch up your branding, when you want to change your colors, when you want to change your fonts, when you want to change your messaging, you are ruining and tearing down everything that you have spent the last week, the month, the last quarter, the last half a year. You are tearing down any sense of consistency when you make those changes. Why? Because everybody didn't see it the first time. And now you look inconsistent. Now you look all over the place. That's where chaos, confusion comes in. Stick with what works long enough for it to work. Repetition isn't for you. It's for the people watching you for the first time. All right. And the third objection that you may have is, I've been posting and it's not working. If you're posting without a strategy or any sense of consistency, you're just staying busy. And busy don't build trust. Let me say it louder for the people in the back. Busy don't build trust. Consistency does. More importantly, a consistent strategic plan builds trust. Okay. So I asked my engaging question of the day, and that question is specifically, what is one area that you can be more consistent in this month? Is it going to be in your lives, your stories, your reels, your SMS text messaging, your vlogs or your blog, your email, your posting, your carousels? What is one area that you feel you can actually be more consistent in this month? Because I would love to actually make it your visibility commitment for the week. I would love to be able to see it consistently, to share it, to collaborate with you. I would love to be able to do that. However, I only work and collaborate and partner with influencers, value givers, VIPs that actually are consistent. I'm noticing a beautiful migration from inconsistency to consistency in two of my BrandYOU clients. And that's Kesha Rainey for Newer Heights DNA, and that is Dr. Regina Turner for Wealth God's Way. These two women are building consistent brands that I am truly enjoying watching the evolution of. And finally, I have Tawana Yelverton, who not only is revamping her entire brand, but she's bringing into the fold her husband's brand as well, Supreme Details. Now, they are out of Zebulon, North Carolina. My New Walk in Life and Supreme Details car detailing. Again, I am enjoying watching my students showing up, showing out consistently, right? I need for you guys to understand how important that is, because if you are a haphazard brand that is all over the place, not only your corporations, government agencies, small businesses not going to be interested in collaborating and supporting you, but you're also not going to be able to get that great positioning. And again, as you already heard, we'll talk about positioning next month, but I need for you guys to understand you have to start somewhere. All right. So again, followers equal attention. Consistency equals trust. Now you take trust and pair it with consistency. That is where your conversions come into play. So let's stop hoping for sales and start showing up with a purpose so that you can get to your consistency. If you, again, want to stop winging your content and finally build a brand with structure, then you'll want to get into the BrandYOU community. You'll want to get access and download your brand inventory worksheet. You'll want to go ahead and get ready for this upcoming weekend with your trust building checklist that you will have access to inside of the BrandYOU community. I thank you again for joining us each and every Tuesday through Friday and all throughout the week when you all are actually watching the reels and the stories that we're sharing, the shorts that we're sharing on YouTube as well. And if you have not had the opportunity, please, for the love of everything business and branding, go ahead and go over to youtube.martinabrityelverton.com. Go ahead and subscribe, select the bell to get notifications each and every time we go live so that you can be made aware and alerted whenever this content goes live. And join us inside of the BrandYOU agency so that you can get access to your own free downloads, and you will be able to join us in the private Zoom room after most hours. Right? And you'll be able to ask your burning business or brand questions. I greatly appreciate your time on today. I'm really excited about this information that we shared, and I'm looking forward to sharing inside of the BrandYOU community follow-up Friday information where we go, I guess you could call it a deep dive. And the reason I say I guess is because literally it's not necessarily that you would be calling it a deep dive, because all we're doing is recapping, and we're actually just flowing through everything that we have discussed for the week. You get this downloadable checklist and you take the time over the weekend to work through a lot of what you heard audibly throughout the week. You're actually able to move into the action step, the action plan. Okay, you're able to do the work that we've discussed all week long. So I hope you guys are excited about that information and you have found value in that. And I'm looking forward to next week, Tuesday, when we get started on our third week here inside of the BrandYOU agency. And that third week, we jump off, Tuesday. If I'm not mistaken, it'll be Tuesday the 15th. And we actually jump off a series in week 3 that talks about stop hiding and start showing up. Visibility is a decision, not a vibe. Hey y'all, hey, Brandmaster Martina Britt Yelverton here, updating you about our daily live training and follow-up live open office hours. Join me every Tuesday through Friday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for live actionable lessons on building your brand from scratch. We'll cover everything from tools, strategies, and systems like Canva, StreamYard, Go High Level, AI technology, and more, to include the exact steps to take you from confused to confident. And the best part is, after each live stream, you can hop on Zoom with us to ask your questions and get personalized answers. Don't miss out. Mark your calendar and subscribe now to this YouTube channel. Join our free community, and I'll say it louder for the people in the back. If you want to learn, lead, and level up your automation in your MLM company, or as an entrepreneur who could possibly be struggling in your business, we not only have the solution, we also have the experts. Yes, this is your sign to join us. Our entire team is live each weekday. So if you snooze, you will lose. I said what I said. You heard what you heard. Now do what you now know you need to do to get your assets in order.